Oh, sorry. Good afternoon for you, isn't it?
Yeah, that's okay though. I'm doing fine, thanks. How about you?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
All right, good, good. Just so you know, I am recording. If you want me to do otherwise, just let me know. That's totally
No,
fine.
that's fine.
Okay. So, what do you want to work on today? Like, what's your plan for the
Um,
lesson?
so I've been playing a lot of games, and it's been a lot of losses lately.
Okay.
I've been supporting since no one else will,
hmm
and I start off well, but then I just fall behind a lot as soon as we get ganked that first time. I
hmm
kind of lose confidence in going back out into lane, and then I just continuously fall behind. So
Okay.
just kind of wondering, like, do I need to play more safe or do I need to be more aggressive? So if you could kind of have a look at a game and see, or if you could tell me what I'm doing wrong from that. So I
Sure.
just typed in the match ID.
Okay. I will take a look. What MMR are you currently?
2.4.
Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna share my screen.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me know if it's good. Also, there's like every now and then there's a weird background noise coming from your mic. I'm not sure what it is. Um,
Um,
it's like a
okay,
pinging sound.
a pinging. Okay, I'll check my cables, but
Okay.
not too
It's
sure
not
what
bad.
it.
It's just every now and then there's a sound that kind of interrupts what you're saying.
All right, okay. I'll try to speak up as well.
Okay. Okay. So we're Crystal Maiden. We have. Okay. So there are a couple things I see already, but that's okay. Right away, it's not the best CM game. It's not super bad, especially because like this isn't the TI or anything. There's always stuff you can do.
Yeah.
That wasn't meant to be as like an insult or anything either. That's
No,
just
no, no.
like
That's
yeah.
alright. Don't worry. I did
Okay.
take a look.
Okay. Good. Good. So CM, I actually recommend this hero a lot to like newer or lower MMR players. Basically, like she's very simple, but there are also like big game-changing decisions you can make, like when to farm and when to gank in a vulnerable lane and other things like
Sure.
that. So I think this is a good hero to play. Um, if you wanted to spam a support, it's actually pretty good at lower MMRs because you can like farm for yourself and make sure that you're getting item progression.
Yeah, I think that's where I have difficulty making the
Mhm.
decision between farming and helping.
Mhm. And often when you're playing CM, especially when you're playing with like inexperienced players, they'll like expect you to lane for whatever reason. Like they'll just expect you to sit in the lane and like try to zone the offlane or whatever. But in a lot of cases, that's not what this hero is good at. And you always want to play to the strengths of your hero. At least in like 99% of cases, you want to be
Yeah,
doing
for
what's
sure.
best for you. And often like you just farming will equate to helping your team more than like you trying to be in lane and fulfilling a role or filling a role that you can't. So I definitely recommend farming. I'll go over like the specifics of like when to fight and farm in a bit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. So this game you were supporting with a or an ogre magi. One of you guys needs to buy sentries. It's pretty important in my opinion. You can
Yeah,
just go
actually, I was
like.
watching a replay
Mhm.
on YouTube where you kind of said sentries were more important than the observer.
Yep.
Um, I can't imagine doing this and not having the entire team rage at me. So
Yeah. that is like one of the bigger problems. Like it's something that you could do at higher MMR and people would still get pretty mad. But I do think it's more important for your job. It's also okay to just buy both. You're not gonna like kill yourself by doing this in most cases.
yeah,
It can be rough if you're playing against like a bounty hunter who's going to like harass you and take
yeah.
your
No,
regen
no.
away.
If it's an Embers hero or a situation where someone might try to uh, block the pull
hmm
camp, then it's something I'll definitely rush.
Yep.
But I don't know. I've never thought to buy it outright. So yeah, I just
hmm
wanted to kind of confirm your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So I think you definitely need to buy sentries. Like one of these supports needs to.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
I think. I mean, when I play support and I'm solo supporting, I just buy everything. Like I'll buy observers, courier, and sentries. Um, this can be good and it can be bad. Number one, you have sentries, so you can deward things, and that's good. But you do kind of lack a little bit of regen, so you need to make sure your positioning is good and you don't take like unnecessary damage or waste your spells.
Sure.
But I kind of recommend doing that honestly. I think sentries are just like so vital in almost every game, and you're gonna use them eventually to deward if you're playing like a good support game. So
Yeah, of course.
okay, so I do want to talk about your items at the start. So they're not horrible. You get plenty of regen. I think going back for the second set of tangos was suboptimal. Basically, like, rather than getting this, you could have either waited for boots and just saved the money, or you could have gone for like a smoke, and that would have allowed you to set up a gank, like later on, specifically on like Pugna or Nature's Prophet. These are like the two vulnerable heroes that I see on the enemy team.
Okay.
Also PA to an extent with some nuker heroes, but it's not that good. Okay. Oh yeah, so yeah. I think it would have been fine to just save your money or buy a smoke in this case, rather than going for the extra tangos. You don't need too much regen, and like I understand you bought the tangos to pull the mid hero, which is fine. That's totally fine. But like she's overpulled at this point. She doesn't need so many.
I didn't see the 3.
Yeah. Okay, not a big deal though. You have tangos and clarities, which are really what matter. So it's kind of a mistake to skill Frostbite right away. It's like not bad because you're going to use it to farm, but hypothetically, let's say that there's a big fight that breaks out. Crystal Nova is actually a better spell for fighting in like 90% of cases, unless you're playing against a hero with a blink. Like in this case, you're playing against PA, so it's not as true. But basically, Crystal Nova does comparable damage. It does 100, whereas Frostbite does 150. And this is an AoE, and it's also a movement and attack speed slow, and it lasts 4.5 seconds. So you actually get more damage out of Crystal Nova through right clicks and the enemy team being slowed than you do from just CCing them with Frostbite. And also, if they choose to manfight, then they're getting attack speed slowed as well. So that's a small thing. So just hold your point at level 1, and if you don't end up going for a fight, then you can just skill Frostbite. That's a good habit on like any hero that has different skill builds.
To not select it too early. Yeah, I should remember that.
Yep. Okay, so moving on a little bit. Okay, that was fine. I think this was intentional, but you held your Frostbite here, and this is good. Basically, like, if you were to CC him right now, when he's still in attack range of these two heroes, you're kind of like wasting the CC. It's not like a total waste, but it's like slightly inefficient. Whereas you waited until he started running away, so Phantomancer couldn't hit him anymore, so now you stun him. And that's good because, like... fuck, how do I explain this?
You're not wasting the time that he's being hit.
Yeah, basically. So, like, when these two heroes are already in attack range, like... These two heroes are able to do damage right now. So, you stunning him won't change that. Whereas, like, when he starts running away, if you stun him, then they can do damage again. I think that's the best way I can explain it. So this was a good play.
That makes sense, yeah.
Okay. So also the ward placement is not bad. Seeing the ward is pretty good. I actually like up here a little bit better. It lets you see like a little bit onto this cliff.
Oh, okay.
It's not too big a deal. It's really small, honestly. Okay, but
I usually go there later on to kind of help avoid dewarding.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. That's a super minor thing. I think this is totally fine. Okay. I don't like this movement here. So CM's job is not to be a strong laner and like dominate the lane or whatever. Her job is to farm and provide arcane aura and then gank. In like 99.9% of cases, and like I'd say 100% of cases at this MMR. So by you showing in the lane like this, the enemy team knows exactly what you're doing. Whereas if you were to stay in the jungle and like even just stay right here rather than walking into lane, they basically don't know where you are at this point unless they have this worded.
Okay.
So you're kind of like showing them what you're doing right now, and you don't have to. Like PL has to be here because he needs to farm, and that's very obvious. But you don't have to be. So yeah, okay. You go to pull, it looks like, or stack?
Stack first.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. You should definitely pull at this point, though. Okay, yeah, this was a slight mistake. So I think going for the stack was fine. I would like to see you choose to jungle instead and just let PL solo for a bit and get your Arcane Aura. That will help out your other lanes a lot. But going to stack was fine, as long as you pull afterward. It's really important that you pull in this case because like the lane is pushed up really far. Now you guys can't kill him at this point because you're out of mana and you already used your spells and everything. So you need to start trying to deny him by pulling this wave. If you pull this into the stacked creep wave, it'll die completely, and you'll get experience for yourself. You'll get closer to Arcane Aura, and you'll also be denying Bristleback, and you'll also be like changing the creep equilibrium to, be around here.
Back, yeah.
Right. So that's a mistake. Going for the Frostbite wasn't good enough. If it was another hero that you could kill with just that spell, then it would be a good decision. But in this case, since it's pretty impossible for you guys to kill him, you should have just pulled, and that's the best thing you could do in this situation. It does look like you got a pull. That's good. Okay. So when you stack a camp like this, you want to be hitting the creeps as much as you can, like the neutral creeps. Basically, like, these creeps are always going to kill your wave no matter what, and like they're still going to be alive afterward. Like, they're going to be very healthy. So you're not getting much experience out of this. Like, only 2 creeps died in this. Like, this one isn't even going to die. So you're denying yourself XP in this way. It's not super bad because you're also denying Bristle a lot, and you can just pull again. But it's not super good.
Okay, so keep protecting groups.
Yeah, only when you stack, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
I don't like pulling unless there is a stack. Otherwise, I just feels
Yeah.
like it pushes the lane even further.
Yeah, no, it does. It does, 100%. Do you know how to do the pull-throughs? Like a pull this camp through?
Yeah, but it's not like 100% success rate for me.
Okay. Well, that is something you can
I just kind of wait
practice.
till the last creepers about or halfway to death,
Mhm.
and then I pull them out.
So that's not bad, but the rule I use is like as soon as the last creep starts taking damage.
Okay,
That's
last creep
the one I do.
Sure.
It's harder to pull this camp, but it can be worth it. It's much safer to do this.
Oh, okay, so you can do that one as well.
Yeah, definitely stick with this one though for now. Like this one is really hard to time. But yeah, I do recommend you go into a custom game and just practice this, like
Sure.
the connections, and just like trying to get the timings down because they're slightly different for each creep, but you can definitely do it. Okay, I do want to say that even though this PL might hate you for like not being in lane, I think you should have started out in the jungle, like doing a hard camp, like just doing the Dark Troll Summoner and then killing the small ones. This would help your lanes out quite a bit because they would get Arcane Aura that much sooner.
Okay.
This spell is very impactful. You might not be able to see it except for like on
Okay,
yourself.
for sure.
Yeah. It's super high value. Or alternatively, you could have like done this camp and pulled at the same time. So like you pull after you stack,
Yeah,
and then you go do this one. Bristle might leech XP in this case, but you're still getting XP, so it's pretty good. I think that might be a good option if you're solo supporting, like in the lane. Just like farming these 2 camps and pulling this one. That seems pretty reasonable to me. But you definitely want to make sure you're keeping your item and level progression going. That's super important on CM.
Yeah, I think the progression was a bit different.
Also, you want to be careful not to triple stack this. I think double stack is perfectly fine. Like it will kill every creep wave no matter what. And you're also going to be denying yourself XP for the same reasons we talked about, just hitting him. Because like a triple stack will kill the creep wave even faster than a double stack. So you're like no neutral creeps will die. You won't get any XP. Okay, so you guys get a kill on Bristle. Great. You pick up boots, good stuff. I think you already upgraded the courier. Ogre might have, but not a big deal. So I don't like going arcane boots on CM. I think you provide plenty of mana with your arcane aura. And one of your biggest weaknesses on this hero is your movement speed. This hero is slow as balls. Like you are so slow compared to every other hero in the game. I think she has like 280 base movement speed, but it might be 285. I'm not sure. But either way, tranquil boots really help with this. Like they give more movement speed than any other boots in the game, except for boots of travel, and it'll help you get in range to set up your spells or cast your spells, which really helps. Additionally, you pretty much never have to go back to base because you have the HP regen from tranquils and the mana from arcane aura. So I definitely recommend
usually
that.
I do go for tranquils. I just thought I might try something else.
Okay, no, that's fine. I recommend that you try stuff like that. That's completely fine. Just based on my experience, tranquils are almost always better.
Yeah, I think I figured that one out after this game. Need the boots.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
it's convenient for in lane, but that's about it.
well, yeah, arcane boots are great for your teammates, like for instant mana. Usually, arcane aura is enough, but you know sometimes they do need a little bit of extra stuff. Usually, it's up to some other people to buy the arcanes, though. So here, that this is Are you like pressing a hotkey or something? Because it seems like every time I go to talk, there's like a weird noise. I'm not sure what it is.
No, I'm not pressing anything, to be honest.
Okay.
Sorry, I've never had complaints with my mic before, so I have no idea what it could be.
It could just be Skype, honestly.
Nothing open either. Yeah, I'm not pressing anything. I'm just. Is it this?
No. It's like a electronic noise, like it's digital. It's really odd.
Sorry, I'm not too sure.
No, it's okay. No worries. Yeah, so we can just continue. You might be able to hear it on the recording, but yeah, either way.
I'll listen, see what it is, see if I can figure it out.
Okay. Oh, anyway, on with the show here. So basically, like these two creeps are left alive, and they're quite low. This is from the stack. In this case, like unless you plan on pushing the wave, it's like the lane is naturally going to push. So this is a case where you would have to connect the pulse if you wanted to deny these creeps anyway. Okay. Yeah, this is not a good play. Basically, like PL is not in a position where he can go on the bristle. He shouldn't even be taking this creep or these creeps.
I don't want to kill him. I just want to zone him out or push him out because he's already on the back foot. So I want him to kind of not get a chance to get back to where he was.
Okay. That's not terrible thinking. I don't think you have the power to just zone him completely though. Like he still has plenty of regen. It's not bad to burn his regen, but I think it would be better to just keep farming in this case and get higher levels. So you're stronger in the mid game. You're not going to be able to solo zone this hero, even though he went for like a really bad skill build. If he had close spray here, he could just like chase you down and force you to use all your mana on CC. He might even be able to kill you. Yeah, but either way, this play was not super good.
Okay.
Because PL can't follow up, and it's like you're not going to be able to do a lot of damage in just a frostbite by yourself. So it's like it's not wasting your mana, but it's not super good either. Yeah. Also, PL, like you're kind of baited PL into just chasing him here. Like this is a bad decision on his part. Like he shouldn't have done this, but you kind of did bait him into doing it. So he missed quite a bit of CS here for not a small trade. Okay. So you go to pull. That was a good try. I had to do it a little bit earlier, but it was a good thought for sure. This camp is a great option if you're like too late for this camp or if it's blocked. So you can try in the pull.
So can you do that from level 1 frostbite?
The jungle? Yeah. No, you can do any big creep. So basically, what you have to do is you have to frostbite the It might be better for me to show you in game, but generally you just pull the camp out. So like, let's say you hit this troll, and then you run away, and then when the creep gets to like to the point where it's going to turn around, you frostbite, and then you hit it a couple of times, and it'll die to just one frostbite. And most of these creeps will get you level 2. Some will get you to like
straight away.
Yeah, definitely just do it at level 1. Because if you do that, like you kill the creep at like 45 seconds, that means like from then on all your lanes are getting extra mana.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, which really adds up. It adds up so much. That's probably the healthiest thing you can do for your team in 99% of cases. So actually, I want to go over like a little route we can do afterwards, after we watch the replay. At least for CM. All right. So you do want to make sure you kill this ward here.
Yeah.
It provides a lot of golden XP. Okay, good. 20 gold. Not so much. Never mind.
It gets better.
Yeah. Huh, I thought it was way more than that. Anyway. Okay. So, yeah. Basically, you're just spending a lot of time in lane. And I think this is because of, like, I almost want to say the social pressure of a support, where, like, people expect you to be in lane and, you know, support, quote unquote. But
Yeah.
the best way you can support this guy is just by farming and like getting items and like having a Glimmer Cape or a Force Staff later to be able to protect him. Because like your hero can't really zone Bristle. Now it's different if you and Ogre can gank him at the same time, and you guys can kill Bristle. In which case this is great. That gives you golden experience, and it denies Bristle some golden experience, and that's really good. But you're not able to do anything here by yourself, and you're not able to do anything with PL. Yeah, sure, you guys can get him low and push him out of lane, but it's really not that great. PL's not really being pressured, so there's no reason for you to be here. You should just be off, like, really focusing on your item progression in this case.
So kind of hold off unless he's being pressured.
Yeah, basically, like, a good rule to have is if you can kill somebody, then you should go kill them. But if not, you should just be jungling. Or pulling is fine too. But I do prefer jungling, if possible. At least that's a very early on way of thinking. Like before, you know, 10, 12 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, like I'll still give you the route and stuff, but actually Purge has a really good video on CM jungle. I'll have to find it and I'll link you later. But he kind of goes into detail, or not. He doesn't go into detail, but like he explains some things really well.
So I'll write that down.
Yeah, I'll try to find you the exact link afterwards, but it's definitely good. Okay, so you guys go for the kill. Okay, that was good. So yeah, in this case, like it's fine for you to be here. Just because like he's overextended already, and he had taken a lot of damage beforehand. Like I think he took a lot of harass earlier here under the tower. So let's see what happens. Yeah, so he walks up too far, and in this case, you guys also have you had Ogre do some damage beforehand.
Yeah.
So and it's fine for you to be here because Bristle is in like within the kill range. It's pretty close, but still, you guys can kill him, so it's fine. Whereas before, like he was full HP, and it was really hard for you guys to kill him. He's just a tanky hero with Bristleback, so especially since he's going for this really odd max Bristleback build, but either way. Okay, so this is fine. I'm gonna speed through a little bit just because I'm getting a bit redundant here.
Sure thing.
Okay, so you decide to pick up an urn. I think this is fine. You just want to make sure you're not buying 2 urns, so just like double check your teammates' items.
Yeah, I need to get into the habit of looking what other people are doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when you're jungling, you have plenty of time to do that. It's not like it's you know, super hard to kill some creeps. Okay, so you're gonna stack this. This is fine. I think you might have been a little late.
Yeah, I think I was.
So you want to stack this camp at like 53. That's generally the good rule. You have like some breathing room. You can do it at like 55 even, but yeah. Basically, the spawn box is like just at the edge of this bush, and it goes, you know, something like this.
Oh, okay.
A little bit more, something like that.
Yeah.
So that's if you don't want to do it by timing, just like do it based off feel and like trying to move the creeps out of the spawn box.
No, timing's probably better. I think I just stopped paying attention or something.
It's good.
Alright, so this is where it starts going down now.
Okay. Yeah, so there were a couple things that caused this, right? Number one, you don't have Tranquil Boots, so you're not full HP, and you're like able to be killed by just a couple of spells. So that's, I won't call it a mistake, but it's like, it's caused by your item build, whereas this wouldn't happen otherwise. Also, you're in lane when you should be jungling. You're very vulnerable to being killed. So these guys could do the same thing in the jungle, but they would have to like run into the jungle in order to do that. Like it's slightly less safe for them to do that than, you know, just fighting under tower like this. So number 3 was you were just too far up. You didn't really respect that they could very easily just Winter's Curse you and, you know, kill you.
Yeah.
So there's I'd say the biggest thing here is you were in the wrong place at the wrong time. Like you just should have been jungling in this case and trying to get, you know, more items. Okay, so I can't imagine. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Let's say I was jungling, and then 3 of them did come into gank. Do I then rotate into lane, or do I kind of just hold off on, since I'm quite squishy?
Well, it depends, right? If you can kill them, or if you can defend your carry, then you can rotate into lane, and that's
Okay.
completely fine. But
But in this case, no.
yeah, in this case, like, you're not gonna do too much. I think a good rule of thumb is just to have a TP on you at all times when you're jungling, and that way, if you do have an opportunity to make a play or a kill, you can just TP in and do it, or like you can TP in and defend your carry if you're able to do that. Because like if you think about it, if you're just jungling the whole time, you're constantly getting golden experience, and if you have a TP, then you don't have the weakness of like not being able to gank or like be in the right place at the right time. It's very unlikely that there will be a play in the jungle, like in the enemy jungle, or like up here or whatever. So these are places you can't TP to, but it is pretty likely that at this point in the game, there's going to be a play in the lane, and you can TP there. Okay, so that was the big mistake here, was just trying to do something that your hero is not really meant to do. Okay. That ends up being pretty disastrous for your team. Looks like they're gonna get bottom tower as well. Not the end of the world though. Like, games like this are never over. Here, I'm actually gonna try recalling. It's getting like louder for some reason.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay.
Hope that's better.
We will see. It generally happens like right after I go on a monologue or whatever.
Okay.
We'll see. Oh, there it is. I wish I had a way to fix this. Oh well. I'll just keep going. If I like stop talking randomly in the middle of my sentence, that's why. I'll try to like stay on track though.
Okay. To be honest, it sounds perfectly fine from my end, just so you know.
Okay. That's really on. Alright, whatever. Yeah, so...
Oh, share screen, please.
Oh shit, sorry. Yeah, I forgot the rescale. Okay, should be good?
Yep, we're good.
Okay, excellent. So, yeah. Basically, in this position, like, you ended up TPing bottom afterward. And this isn't bad, but it's not good either. Like, PL, in this case, should be in the lane. It's fairly safe for him. Like, he has a lane ward. It's completely fine. Yeah, basically, like, it's not bad for you to be here because nobody else is, but this is a kind of a macro play kind of thing. Like, somebody else can make better use of the farm. Like, they can push faster. They can, you know, do everything better than you can. And your hero is exceptionally good at killing, like, one big creep rather than a bunch of little ones.
In that kind of case, when no one actually is in lane.
Yep.
So for me, this is just a fast track to my next level. But, you know, obviously it's better if PL goes.
Right.
But if he doesn't, and like he just went to jungle.
Yep.
So I kind of just let him leave it open to show that he can have it? Or
Oh, no. It's totally fine that you're doing this.
go for it, yeah.
No, it's completely fine that you're doing this. This is actually, it's good because nobody is here.
Yeah.
What you could do is you could just run down here and then, you know, get the levels and XP. And then say, like, PL, you can
TP.
farm bottom or something.
Okay.
And, like, until he gets there, or until he TPs, or somebody else TPs, then you could just take the XP. Because, like, this is just effectively being wasted if nobody is here.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, that's totally fine for you to be down there. Definitely make sure you have a TP, though. I do want to talk about that, the decision to initially TP down here. So, you did just TP, and basically what this does is it disallows you from being anywhere on the map except for, you know, exactly where you are. You can always run to another lane, but that takes much longer than TPing. So when you're playing support or a hero that needs to, like, be fighting early, you know, like CM pretty much, you want to run to lanes in 99 or in like probably 70% of cases, just because, like, you want to have your options open, and if, you know, these guys decide to push mid like they're doing, you can't be here to help because you TP'd bottom. In this case, you shouldn't be mid, like, it's not the play, but that option is no longer available to you either way. Okay. Spuck ends up dying. Not much you can do about that. Generally when this mid tower goes down, you want to get some vision in the middle lane. It could just be up here. It could be on this place as well, or it could just be a standard lane ward.
Okay.
I like this spot quite a bit as well.
Alright.
Basically,
Yeah.
just this vision is super crucial because this is like the big crossroads of the map. Like, people pass through this all the time once the towers are down, so that helps quite a bit. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, you do end up boarding, it looks like. Okay, good. Good sentry first. That's a good play. Okay. Yeah, it just seems like you're really focused on helping your team out a lot, which is fine, but you need to make sure that, like, you can't help them in other ways. Like, in this case, helping them by getting tankier and not being able to just, you know, instantly die is very helpful. Yeah. And you could also gank when you're just jungling. Like, you're not restricted to just being in the jungle, but like, when you're going to these fights, you're pretty much restricted to just fighting. I hope that makes sense. Like, I'm not trying to say that fighting is bad. Okay, yeah. But it does end up working out, that's fine. Okay. Okay, so you guys do lose the fight. I'm not too sure what causes it. Okay. Not a total loss. So right away you kill Pugna. Bristle shortly follows. But Ogre dies. Okay. You get crit daggered. That's unfortunate. The coil breaks on PA. Okay, I think this was fine. Alternatively, you might have been able to, like, Crystal Nova and then ult. I think it was totally fine to go for the ult, though. I think I would have gone for the Crystal Nova after Frostbite, just because, like, you're guaranteed to get it off.
Yeah.
And, like, that'll be extra nuke damage. Yeah, I think it was fine, though. Okay.
So, my mentality with these kind of fights is get off as much damage as possible, regardless of if I stay alive or die, just to kind of make sure that the carry or whoever has the opportunity to get the most kills. But
right.
in a sense, it does end up being feeding after a while. So where do I kind of draw that line of going in and trying to burst them down?
That's pretty hard, right? Like, sorry to interrupt you, but I inferred what you were gonna say. It's kind of tough. Like, I'd say it's pretty bad to just have the mentality that you're gonna die, like, and trying to do as much damage as possible. I think, like, a good rule of thumb is you always want to get your spells off first. Like, you want to get Frostbite and Crystal Nova off, and these are pretty, you know, fairly long range. Like, Frostbite is short range, but Crystal Nova you can cast from quite a distance. It's hard for me to give you, like, set rules, because every fight is different, every engagement is completely different. But generally, if you can get 2 sets of spells off, then you can start, like, you know, going for plays like where you need to just die for your carry. That's basically that's an okay rule, but it is different every fight. Like, I guess we could talk about that. In the last fight, like, your positioning was, like, sort of iffy. I don't want to say it was, like, horrible, because you were pretty far out most of the time. But I'll try to explain better. So right away, you get a Crystal Nova off. Or you get a Frostbite off, okay. Okay, so yeah, this is kind of an issue. You didn't cast Frostbite right here. You didn't cast Crystal Nova here. Whereas it's, like, free damage, basically. You're not getting the slow, or the slow won't be as high value, but you could just very easily Crystal Nova right here. Like, right in the center, and you'll hit Winter Wyvern as well. So that's something you could have done here. Then it would have been on cooldown, and Frostbite also would have been on cooldown, so that the cooldowns are refreshing as time goes on. Okay, here Frostbite comes back up, so Crystal Nova, it wouldn't come back out in this case, because you die.
Yeah.
But, like, if you had positioned slightly better, and you were a little bit safer.
I didn't use it at all.
Yeah. So definitely, like, make it a rule to try to get all your spells off.
Okay.
As many times as you can, basically. Never commit to just, like, feeding.
Yeah.
Like, it's... I know that's not what you're doing. Like, you were trying to just do as much damage with Freezing Field as you can. But, it's generally better to just leave this as, like, a last resort kind of thing. Okay. And focus on getting your other spells off. You can also... Once you get items like Glimmer Cape or Blink Dagger, you can make it hard for the enemy team to interrupt it. But it really is just a case-by-case thing. Just try to get all your spells off, like Crystal Nova, then Frostbite, and then you can go for, you know, big Freezing Fields or whatever.
Okay.
The goal of control supports like this is just to cast their spells as many times as possible, and that will do more damage over time because like these control targets are either not doing damage and killing the carries, or the carries are killing these control targets. Okay. So I think we're actually getting to the point where this replay is like not super productive because the early game was so weird. We can continue watching if you want, if there's like a specific part that you wanna see. It's totally up to you though.
It's not really a specific part. Like I feel like I've done relatively well as a support, and then it just all heads downhill very quickly, and then we just end up being dominated.
Well, you did okay, but like you had some really big inefficiency things, like with not jungling, with not getting too much experience from the pulls. Like you really need to try to get as much as you possibly can out of your hero, and I don't think you did. Like you pulled in some cases, but there are also some cases where like the lane was pushing. I think like the first pull you did, it was a bit late.
It was too far already.
Yeah, so that's something that you could have done much better, and it would have been very impactful. Like Bristol doesn't end up doing much in this game, but like another offlaner might be able to, or another offlane player might have been able to with the experience. Yeah. He could have been like level 6, for example, instead of 7 or almost 8, and that might not seem like a big deal, but it really is. Like it matters quite a bit. Okay, so I guess we'll watch until the next team fight. I'll just speed it up, and then we can talk about that, and then probably jump to a different replay.
Sure.
Okay. So you TP here to defend that tower. This is pretty fine. Okay. So your positioning here was a bit off. Basically, you should have seen the PL coming in. Like he starts TPing. So this should signal you to like go for an aggressive play on these guys. Try to like CC Pugna so PL can kill him. But you backed off. So I'm not sure if this was like you didn't know PL was going in or not. But yeah. Okay. You need to keep in mind the positioning of your teammates as a support, so you can set up kills for them properly. End up going on Bristle. At this point, like you're quite low because of the Nether Ward, so you need to like try to find this if you can and kill it. It's pretty rough though, because like you could just like walk into the enemy team in the jungle or whatever, so it's kind of scary. Okay. Wait, I'm not sure how you took damage here. Ah, okay. Wrath of Nature.
Oh, Nature's. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point you just need to go back. If you had Tranquils, you might be in a healthy position, because you only took nuke damage here. You didn't take any right-click damage, but yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think we should jump to a different replay, and just see what's going on. But key things from that game are definitely jungle more early on, and only leave the jungle when you're either defending somebody, like specifically from like a dive, or like they just need help in lane or whatever, or if you're going for an aggressive play. I think focus on jungling and the aggressive part though, and don't worry so much about the defensive plays.
Okay. Alright, so this match I played a Windrunner mid, I think.
Yep.
We won, but I did not play well.
Okay. So
this was the first time going for Blink after Eggs. Usually I don't bother with Blink.
Yeah, Blink is trickier to use, but it makes the hero slightly easier as well. Like it's easier to Blink and then Shackle, rather than just going for a random Shackle. It's good. I will say that Windrunner is a tricky hero. Like she has a very low win rate actually. It's like 44% or something in pubs, and I'd imagine it's slightly higher at lower MMRs, but yeah, that's just something to keep in mind whenever you pick her. I do think she is good, but yeah. Okay, so let's look at what happens in lane. So that's what matters really. Oh, looks like you're laning against a Death Prophet. I'm not sure how this matchup goes, but I'd imagine it is Death Prophet favored.
So I have this thing where like when we start the picking phase, you know, I ask anyone if there's any preferences or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Abaddon randomed after saying he was going mid.
Mm-hmm.
So then I had to kind of cover.
Okay. So you buy Fairy Fires. That's fine. You get pulled a ward.
Thank you.
Okay, this is all fine. Okay. Okay, I think the ward placement is fine. I do think you should just let the offlaner ward here. Sorry, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Sorry, I used to ward on the other side,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always a chance of them hiding and seeing it.
Yep.
So is it okay just to go over there, or is it better to risk it? And
No, this is totally fine. This is a great ward. I think in this case, like, if I'm given a ward as a mid laner, I want to place it in my lane, though. Like, this is giving you good vision, and it will let you see if the supports are roaming, or if Spiritbreaker is charging, or whatever, from this area.
Well, that was the main reason to kind of help.
So, alternatively, you're not giving yourself any vision in lane. Whereas, like, that's where the real strength of giving a ward to mid comes from, is, like, you have vision on the high ground, so you can attack units up here.
Oh, okay. So normally I'll just hold out and then pop it up. On
Yeah.
The cliff. Yeah.
Yeah, you could even put it right in the center, or like right here is a good spot for a mid lane ward.
Okay. That's good.
That helps quite a bit. That being said, this ward is completely fine. I just like this mid lane ward for ranged heroes.
Oh, fair enough. That makes sense.
Yeah. So in this case, I think Abaddon stole the bounty rune from you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's unfortunate. You kind of need the regen, but not the end of the world. You just have to play a little bit more safe.
Missing middle.
Okay.
Sorry, what do you mean need the regen?
So when you get the bounty rune as a mid hero, you basically just like always send yourself out of salve. This is just because like
Oh, right. Yeah, no, okay. That's
yeah, it just gives you
I thought
like
there was some special regen to the
oh no
bounty.
no. It's just money and XP. But yeah, the salve is really important because it gives you like some breathing room. Like you don't have to play picture perfectly. You can have some extra regen in case you mess up and take a lot of damage, or if a support harasses you or whatever. Okay. You're playing a little safe here. I think it would be okay for you to like check to see what Death Prophet has, and then just like poker a little bit in between right clicks. Really focus on not taking creep aggro. But yeah, you don't have to play so defensively in this case. Like especially since this guy is like he's conceding these CS. Like he's not even going for most of these for whatever reason. It could just be because he's bad. He might be scared of like a gank or something. But yeah, it is fine to just go for CS. So I prefer like testing the waters a little bit and seeing how the lane opponent will react to a little bit of like right clicks. Okay, yeah. So you're playing very scared in this sense, or this case. Like here, you should have gone for the CS rather than going for the deny. Always prioritize going for CS over denies.
Yeah, okay.
So like right here, your positioning could be somewhere up here, like in the river here, and you could go for right clicks and still get CS very reliably. You want to make sure that you're not like too far up, like right here, where my cursor is.
Yeah.
Because then Death Prophet can hit you from high grounds. But yeah, basically when you're standing this far back, you're very safe, but you're also like making it very easy for the opponent to last hit, and you want to try to push your advantages as much as possible. Okay. So you just send yourself out a salve, it looks like? Yeah, okay. It's fine. Okay. Okay, yeah. I was literally about to say, oh, you're not really using Power Shot at all, which is fine. But at level 3, basically when you have 2 levels in Power Shot, you want to start using Power Shot to last hit and harass. So like what you did here was totally fine. What you did with this this melee creep, this was what you want to be doing. And this just chips away at her regen.
Yeah.
She has to use bottle charges or whatever. This is a good habit. Just make sure you're getting CS with the nuke as well. Okay. So you end up getting ganked. Okay. It was a really weird start gank too. That was very strange timing. It looks like he has an invis rune though.
Yeah,
At this time.
he's just sitting behind him.
I'm not sure. Okay, so this is something that you could have done to prevent this. Basically, when you're playing against line nukers, such as Death Prophet, or even Windrunner, if you're playing against a Windrunner as well, this applies, it's pretty predictable that they're going to go for the CS/harass kind of thing, like she just did here, and that you just did earlier. So you want to position yourself in a way that if they're to cast their nuke to get a CS, they can't hit you. So in this case, here, let's watch. In this case here, you see Death Prophet coming. You want to position yourself here. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, so if she were to go for a Crypt Swarm, she can't get the CS. And then that's fine, you can trade your damage for that. But here you're giving her like a very high value usage of her mana. Because she's getting a CS and doing some damage to you. And you also end up paying for this a bit in the form of a gank. Because your HP is so low. Now it's a bit unfortunate that Slark has an invis rune, but if you were full HP here, it'd be very hard for them to kill you. So it looks like bottom lane did tell you that they're missing.
Yeah.
So I want to see exactly how much time you had. Okay. So you see Spirit Breaker right there. So you didn't have much time to react to this. What you could have done, if you think Spirit Breaker is missing, you can hug this tree line, like in this case, because basically like you know Spirit Breaker is 100% coming from bottom lane because he's the offlaner and he just showed up, like you saw him charge. So if you hug this tree line, you're giving yourself more time to react to him charging this way. Because like right here, you barely had any time to react. Like maybe a robot could have shackle shotted him in time, but it's pretty impossible. Like you had less than a second to react, less than like half a second to react.
I really moved to the worst area.
Right. Whereas if you were like standing, a little bit farther back, he would have appeared, like slightly
So
earlier.
at tower range, but still
Right.
better than yeah. Okay.
This doesn't just apply in lane. It also applies like when you're pushing out lane solo or whatever. You just want to like try to keep Spirit Breaker's position in mind and position relative to him, or to like if he were to be charging you, you want to position accordingly so that you have enough time to react.
Yeah.
Okay, so you end up killing the Slark. You don't get any XP, so it kind of sucks, but not the worst. Here you should buy. Actually, you can't. That's rough. I was gonna say you should buy boots and a TP, but yeah. Okay. This is a bit weird. It was like you were undecided on whether or not you wanted the
Yeah.
TP.
it was.
Okay, so
Um,
what's your thinking behind this?
So I was wanting to save for bottle, but then on the other hand, I was missing out on experience,
Mhm.
and there was like relatively free lane from what I could see anyway. So I thought it'd probably better just to get out there and soak up what experience I can.
Yeah, so your thinking is correct. You should get there as soon as you can with the TP, but it needed to be a little bit faster than this. If you TP'd right now, you would get 3 CS, or you had the option to get 3 CS, or like the chance to get it. Whereas if you don't TP now, then you're missing out on 3 CS. And if you buy a TP and then get 3 CS, you'll have your bottle. So like you can think of a TP scroll as like an investment of sorts.
For sure.
Now you do have to, connect with the last hits under tower in order to get it, so
Yeah,
it's a little
of course.
tricky, but still. If there are creeps dying to your tower, then it's generally better to just TP in. You want to keep in mind like threats, like you want to make sure that people aren't just waiting for you to gank you as soon as you TP in, but yeah, still. So you end up missing some CS because you TP'd a little late. That's fine. Not the end of the world by any means. Okay.
And then I just kept running into the wave.
Yeah. And this will matter quite a bit. It like not only do you take a lot of damage, so you're in danger of Spirit Breaker ganks, you also can't really go aggressive because she can just Spirit Siphon you. And like you can't really do anything about it. Like if you're full HP and she was at very low HP, you would have an easier time killing her. That makes sense, right?
Yeah, no, for
Okay.
sure.
Missing middle.
Okay, so Necro takes a rune. Unfortunate, but not much you can do about it. At this point, you want to bottle crow. Basically, you can just use up all your charges and then put your bottle in the courier and speed boost it back. Since you didn't get a rune here and you're not going to be able to get one, you want to make sure you're setting yourself up for a healthy laning phase, or a healthy like next couple minutes. So by bottle crowing, you'll be resetting your regen, so to speak. And that will be very beneficial for you, because you won't have to go back to base if you get harassed.
Yeah, save a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw the stuff going on bot, but I
Mhm.
thought they don't have that much mana to make a difference, and I'm still behind,
Mm-hmm.
so there's not much I could have done. Is it kind of expected to gank as much as possible, even
No.
in grim situation?
No, it's not. What you did here was totally fine. That's why I didn't comment on it. But let's still try to see what happens here. So bottom is fighting. You can see this on the minimap. They start fighting in a little bit here. Okay, so they start fighting now. They're chasing. If you were to start running right now, you wouldn't even get here in time. Like because you don't have boots. So in this case, since you don't run fast enough, like your movement speed is literally not high enough to get here in time to save Legion Commander. And you probably couldn't kill these guys anyway. It's not your job to help them. You will help these guys more by just farming and getting your items more than you will by like doing this roam thing. Alternatively, if you had boots and maybe a TP scroll, then
yeah, different story, I guess.
maybe it really just depends on like if you're going to be able to get kills or not, because it's not worth it to just like TP down here and save somebody. That's like the definition of these guys creating space.
Or assist,
Yeah. I always recommend to like very low MMR players to play very selfishly, and like think of with their item progression in mind more than anything else. And if you were to TP down here, you would be not farming, you wouldn't get any kills, and you might not even save the Legion Commander. So it's definitely just focus on staying mid and farming as much as you can. This is like, it's pretty contradictory, right? Because Dota is a team game, and people very often get caught up in this concept, but in order for team play to be a thing, you need to have like certain fundamental skills in place. Like you need to be able to CS well, position well, understand how much damage every hero does, understand like what your role is in fights. Team play doesn't exist, like truly until like all of these things are in place for every player. So I definitely recommend just focusing on like laning and other basic skills like that rather than roaming. Okay. So, I guess we'll just continue watching this to see what happens.
Cool.
Okay, here you should wait to see if you get a TP, or see if you have money for a TP. Okay, yeah, I do think, despite what I just said about, like, not focusing on roaming, you definitely want to buy a TP as soon as you buy your boots. Just in case there's an opportunity for you to get kills, then it's good. Don't force the opportunity, but if these guys are to say like dive under the tower and they get super low or whatever, then you want to be able to be here to get the money. Like it might seem like pretty greedy to like just constantly think about like, oh, what can I kill steal next? Where can I get the biggest cash grab? But like, really, that's what Dota's about when you're a core. It's just like trying to get as much money as you can so you can make the game easy for yourself.
Fair enough.
Okay. I would have gone for an aggressive play here. Like, you already hit the power shot on DP, which is fine, but your power shot's going to be up again pretty soon. So you had an opportunity to try to power shot her under tower. You might have been scared of Spirit Breaker, but at this point, like, DP is so low that if she is to go for an aggressive play, then, like, you're able to kill her if they don't CC lock you. And Spirit Breaker's not 6, so the only way you're going to get CC locked is by getting chain bashed, which is, like, a pretty low chance. Well, I guess it's really high chance.
Can you just hold the line for a sec?
Yep, of course.
Okay, sorry about that.
Okay, no problems. So, yeah, here I would have gone for a more aggressive play for sure. But not a big deal. It's really not that bad at all. Okay, so you were bottle growing, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, but they kept having a massive cry about using the courier.
Well,
And
fuck them. To be frank, But you're so there's like a priority system with the courier, and it's not respected at lower MMRs. But basically, like when you're mid, you always get priority of the courier. Especially when you're in a case where like you need regen. Like it matters way more with your bottle than any other item. Like you're 1v1 against this hero, and if this guy is getting access to the courier and his bottle, then and you are not, then you're gonna have less regen than him naturally, depending on the heroes, of course. So he has a serious advantage of you, or over you, in this case because he has access to his courier. It just matters quite a lot more in mid, so it's okay to just like take your bottle off the courier. Like these guys don't need their items as much as you do, at least early on, at like 10 minutes or so,
Yeah.
or before 10 minutes. Yeah, people might get
Well,
mad at you or whatever, but yeah.
the thing is, I don't know. I've just maybe been unlucky, but as soon as like if I do a selfish play or something like that, people will just be like, "No, I'm not gonna do this anymore," and then they'll either just go to the jungle or do something that's like guaranteed to destroy us. So
Okay, yeah.
I have to be PC to make sure that no one gets offended and leaves.
Yeah, I understand. Generally, my policy with this is to say fuck them and just play Dota and try your best to win and get better. What they do is not going to matter in like 10 games or even like the next game. What they did didn't matter. You might lose MMR or whatever, but just if you play properly and like play selfishly, then you'll get better over time. You'll farm more efficiently over time, and you'll just build up skills to where like even if they do decide to like pout in the jungle or whatever or just be babies, like you'll be able to carry them. Yeah, that's pretty much my policy on this.
Okay, cool.
It might seem a little bit harsh, but I definitely think that's it. Definitely don't be like intentionally be a dick though. Like just do your thing.
I'm quite friendly, I guess.
Mm.
I don't rage or anything.
Yeah, you don't even have to be friendly. You just need to like make sure you're being neutral, if anything. Friendly is totally fine though. No worries about that. So here's a thing, like a play that's caused by roaming.
So I thought the team was with me in this case.
Well, it's not super bad to think that, but it's making a play that's really reliant on your teammates super early on, whereas you're giving up a lot of farm mid, and you also could have been pushing the tower. Basically, in order for this play to be good, everyone has to like be on the same page and go in. And you guys also have to focus the right targets, and you have to focus or use your spells properly. So it's just so many things have to go right for this to happen. And basically, the right target here would have been Death Prophet because she's so low, and she's also dishing out like crazy amounts of damage with Exo. So I think in this case, it would have been better to just push mid and let whatever happens happen to your team. You would be helping them in a sense by getting this tower or just getting it low, and you'll also be increasing your item progression. I know I'm getting really redundant here with item progression and like levels, but I can't stress enough how important it is.
Fair point.
Okay. So yeah, this is a common theme between this game and last game though, is you just you get drawn into like what your team is doing, where you just need to be focusing on what you need to be doing, and in like 99% of cases, it's better to just farm, unless you can get kills out of it. It's hard for me to like go into super long detail about this because there are so many different factors that
Of course.
go into it. But yeah, so we're running out of time here. I think we should like go to general questions. Anything you needed recap on, stuff like that.
Probably just okay. So specifically for Windranger, I do play her a lot. After bottle and phase, I'll go into building eggs just for the reason of having the extra health and mana. Is there an intermediate item or something I should go for in between? Because sometimes it takes a while to build it.
Well, I like going wand personally. I think just null talisman, wand, and phase boots are like totally fine, and bottle of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's like a really good amount of stats and effective HP and mana. Just for Windrunner. I know RTZ does this as well. Eventually, you're going to run into a situation where you need to sell one, in which case you would sell your null talisman for eggs or whatever, and a TP. But yeah, other than that, it's fine. You're right, though. It does take a little bit to build up eggs, and Windrunner isn't really the best at farming, so... yeah. So that's a totally fine build, as long as you're going for a point booster first.
Cool.
So just phase, null, bottle, and want.
Radiant's top tower is under
And so before you said Death Prophet was low in their last team fight,
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I tend when she has her ult up, I tend to just step away
Okay.
and just let it time out. Because if they're not near a tower or there's nothing pressing,
Mhm.
I try to avoid it.
Radiant's middle
Is that kind of
tower
a
is under
bad
attack.
mentality to have, or try to take her out as soon as possible?
Well,
Or is it just based on the situation?
yeah, it really is just based on the situation. Like, if you have the opportunity to just kill her, like if you have an Ags Deso or Ags Daedalus or something like that, and you can just straight kill her with her not being able to do anything, then obviously it's better to just kill her. Then you need to keep your life in mind and keep self-preservation in mind. But a lot of times, like, Death Prophets will just be like, they'll turn on their ult, and then, like, they'll think they're God. Like, they can't die. And they'll
Yeah.
just run into a full team of 5 and die. And, like, in this case, if you have good items, then you don't really have to be, like, a full team to kill her. Like, here, I'll try to speed up and find the situation again. It goes, like, 850. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, spot on.
Okay, excellent. So, like, here, if you were to power shot her solo, it does 280 damage, and then factor in magic resist. It would be, like, a power shot and then 3 right clicks to be safe. So you don't have to do all 3 right clicks if a teammate is here, and they're doing damage, obviously. And you have to keep in mind Spirit Siphon HP, but she's still very squishy at this point. And like she does end up getting healed by ghosts, so she gets full HP. But yeah, basically like your original mentality was totally fine. If she's not doing anything with the ults and like she's not endangering your teammates, then it's totally fine to just run away. But if she's killable, like very killable, and it's really safe for you to do that, then you should definitely take the opportunity to. But it definitely depends on the situation, like what's going on.
Cool.
Okay.
Don't really have more questions. I have a lot of notes to review. Probably play around with Crystal Maiden a lot more
Okay.
when applicable. When they go for a relatively tanky team,
Mhm.
I like what kind of supports are ideal for that? Like I would normally pick Disruptor
Mhm.
if they have a bit of melee, but otherwise I find it difficult choices. Like my usual supports are Crystal Maiden, Disruptor, Rubik,
Mhm.
Witch Doctor.
Okay.
So yeah, against tanky teams, I feel like they are not as ideal.
Yeah, for sure. It can be tough to play against. So Rubik is probably not a good option unless they have really good spells to steal.
Yeah.
Generally, tanky teams start off the game like not being that tanky, but like tankier than most heroes, and then they very quickly build up a lot of HP and like armor or whatever. And Rubik just doesn't do a lot of damage. His real strength comes from being able to steal high priority spells and controlling the enemy team. So you can count him out in most games. CM is okay, and she's okay because she provides CC, and she also provides mana for her team. So if you have heroes on your team who you can use spells to do a lot of damage, then she's like effectively kind of doing damage on her own because you're letting your team cast more spells. So she's fine. Witch Doctor is also really good because like or against tanky teams or whatever. Because like if you think about how tanky teams want to fight, like let's say Night Stalker and Blood's no, he's not tanky. Night Stalker and Abaddon are like killing a hero. What are these guys gonna do to kill a hero? Night Stalker's gonna slow them with Void, and then they're just gonna chase them. Like that's what they have to do to get melee range. They have to right click on the person and chase them. So they're gonna be clumped up naturally. So Cask is very good.
Yeah.
Right, because it's gonna bounce in between them. So Witch Doctor is pretty good against him. Additionally, he can make like a little bit of damage turn into a lot of damage with Maledict later on.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're getting more effective damage that way. Other options are like Dazzle. You can play Dazzle and like keep your team alive through the tankiness and try to outlast them. That's another option. It is different game to game, but yeah.
For sure.
Also, Ancient Apparition is okay too, just because he amplifies magic damage, and Ice Blast is good against tanky heroes because like you basically only have to do enough damage to get them into the shatter threshold to kill them. So you can consider it like their HP pools are 10, 11, 12% less big.
Okay, right.
Right. That's an okay way to think about it. So he's not bad. You just have to be careful because he's very slow and it's easy for you to die.
Yeah, kind of just hold back with him anyway.
There are other ones, like Enigma is pretty good because of Midnight Pulse, and
yeah.
he's good at CCing.
But he doesn't. Sorry, he's not this support in the sense of buying awards and
Right.
things like that.
Yeah, he's just a support in the sense that like he's gonna farm, but not in a lane. That's kind of it. So you're right about that. As for laning supports, it can be pretty tricky.
Sometimes I'll opt to play Lena as a support.
Yep.
Because I tried playing a core Lena, but it went horribly wrong. So like I used to play her a lot before the patch. They changed it quite a bit, and I just haven't been able to get the hang of it. So yeah, is it okay to take it kind of here like that and play them as a support, or would you rather go against it?
I think it's fine, but I think you should focus on like a little bit simpler heroes, just because like basically when you play Lena, you're distracted by a lot of things. Like you have to hit your stuns, which is pretty hard in a lot of cases. Like you're very slow. You're probably not going to have a blink early or a Yule's early, so you just have to hit naked stuns, and that can be really tricky. And I don't know, you're just focused on like things that aren't super important compared to like the fundamental skills, like properly pulling, properly positioning in fights, knowing how much damage you're going to do, where you need to be in fights, where you need to be on the map. So like, whereas if you're playing Dazzle or Witch Doctor, like fighting with this hero is very simple. You just throw your cast Maledict, and then Death Ward, or like heal your teammates or whatever. It's much easier than playing Lena in a fight. Same with Dazzle. Like you just heal your okay, that's not Dazzle. There we go. So you just cast Shadow Wave as many times as you can in a row, cast Weave at the start of the fight, and grave people who get low. You can focus on like big fundamental skills in this case. So it's fine if you want to play Lena. Like she's really fun. I understand playing heroes for fun, but purely for getting better, I think just sticking to easy support heroes that are simple and getting better at like overall supporting is a better option.
Cool. That sounds like a lot of stuff to do. But, I get your idea. Get better at the fundamentals before I move on to tricky mechanics and things like that.
Right.
No, that all makes sense.
Okay, awesome.
All right. Thank you very much for your time. I'll probably try and make this a weekly thing, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. As long as this is helpful. I only want to do this if it's like helpful for you.
Oh, well, it was really helpful last time, so...
Okay, awesome.
This time probably apply a bit more with the whole support situation. And then, I don't know, I'll try it out for a week and kind of see where my downfalls are and so on.
Okay.
And then get back to you on that.
Yeah, awesome.
Also, I found the YouTube stuff quite helpful as well. So that's cool that you're putting that up.
Okay, great. No, that's really good news for me. That's what I'm worried about, is like I'm just doing all of this and it's not like even helpful for people. But no, thank you for the feedback.
I watched 2 replays, the Rubik one and a Wind Range in mid. Yeah, both interesting.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
No worries.
All right.
Okay, until next time, thank you so much for your help and advice.
Right on. Well, good luck, man.
Thanks.
Let me know if you have any questions. You can just Skype me.
Cool. Thank you.
Okay. Peace.